jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Man, that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Big salute to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed. Period. We back with another one. You already know. The first in the building, Big Blunts and Boxing. What's good with it, man? Salute to you being on deck. Carlos Rosado. What's good? Salute. Hey, man, we're going to get right down to the nitty gritty. You see it, Francis Ngannou next in line for Anthony Joshua. Vergil Ortiz set to return. I'm going to talk about Vergil Ortiz first. Nah. I'm thinking about talking about Francis Ngannou second. It's just not really, I can talk about them at the same time. I mean, out of the two topics, I'm really feeling Vergil Ortiz return. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he is one of my favorite fighters. I haven't been talking a lot lately because he's been out the ring. But when it comes to him and how he performed through adversity, the fact that he shows he has cojones to want to, step out there and call Crawford out and fight the big names and has to be told by his team, no, you're not ready yet, youngin. You're not yet ready yet. But I like his tenacious. I like his courage, man. I like how his fighting style, period. And at 154, I hope he's able to shake off his medical condition enough to come in there and perform well. He's going in there against Vergil Lawson. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's a lot of people that tune in that's fanatics to the boxing game. But Vergil Lawson has already been stopped like twice out of his 3 losses. Okay? I don't expect Vergil Ortiz to be no different. All right? So, looking at Vergil Lawson's record, let me first introduce y'all to Vergil Ortiz Jr. 19 stinging victories and 19 stunning coming by way of knockout. He's leveled up. Wins for knockouts. His next fight is January 6, 2024, which is this week. All right? If you look at Vergil Lawson, he has 33 fights, y'all. He's 34 years of age. He gives me the Emmanuel Tagoe kind of vibe. He's from Ghana, and he was just stopped by Charles Hatley back in September 2021. Before that, he was stopped by Juan Ruiz, March 2019. And then he had an RTD for Kevin Bitzer. All right? So I was off by one. You know what I'm saying? But I was going more so the knockouts, not the retirement. So all 3 of his losses has been, retirement, right? And also, he was stopped in the 10th round from Charles Hatley. And before that, he was in the 8th round. He was stopped in the 4th. And then he retired in the 10th. These are names that no way in shape or form compares to Vergil Ortiz. Absolutely not. So you think to yourself, this should be a nice little, saucy, that's what I want to call it, a nice little saucy freaking return for Vergil Ortiz. I'm not calling I'm not calling his opponent a tomato can, but I'm saying it should be a nice little saucy return for Vergil Ortiz to go ahead and get the stoppage against Frederick Lawson. I'm not sure he cares about going in there, putting in some rounds, but Vergil Ortiz has been in there with Michael McKenson, stopped him in the ninth. Igis Kavalauskas stopped him in the eighth. Maurice Hooker stopped him in the seventh. Samuel Vargas stopped him in the seventh. Brad Solomon stopped him in the fifth. Antonio Arauzo stopped him in the sixth. So, Vergil in his last 4 fights had some pretty decent names up there, real talk. From Vargas to Hookers, Kavalauskas, and McKenson. You know what I'm saying? He had some pretty decent names, and those was at 147. This is his first fight at 154. This is his first fight. So I'm looking forward for his return, bro. Man, Vergil Ortiz is exciting to me. Seriously, he's exciting to me. And, can't wait for him to return. Hopefully his medical condition with his stomach is absolved enough for him to go ahead and put on a solid performance once again. And on to bigger and better names. I don't see Frederick Lawson, making it too far. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him making it too far in the fight. This is a 12-round fight. And like I said, he could, Vergil Ortiz can come back and want to put in some rounds. I don't know, bro. As much as I don't think this making it out of 2 rounds, but I think it might. His last fight, Vergil Ortiz, was August 2022. So he might want to come back. You know what I'm saying? He might want to come back and give the fans a little bit. Put some rounds in, showcase his skills once again, just to build up some more hype with his debut at 154. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the way it's going to be. But I've been wrong before, goddammit. So shout out to Vergil Ortiz. Looking forward to you returning to the ring. Real warrior, man. He wanted to call out everybody and take that chance. He ain't no punk. You know what I'm saying? He get down busy with it. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the few fighters in the sport, y'all, that has a 100% KO ratio. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he the only, goddammit. I'm saying he one of the few. I'm not talking about every other fighter that has that right now, okay? All I'm saying is I'm talking about specifically Vergil Ortiz. So salute to him, man. Look forward to seeing him back in the square. I want to also highlight another fight that's on this undercard, which is crazy, right? Ohara Davies versus Ismael Barroso. Check this out. For the junior welterweight interim title. So somebody, somehow, some way, I think they felt like they needed to, you know what I'm saying, reinvite Ismael back to the title, the company of a title fight. Why? Because he was raked across the coals, slid across the blades of center, from a center, and robbed, absolutely straight up robbed. So they're bringing him back for a WBA interim junior welterweight title, y'all. Let's see how he looks against Ohara. Somebody must be feeling some type of way. I'm not saying they was feeling guilty, but people was up there talking. They say, man, this is preposterous what we just watched. They bringing him back. The man was stopped against Rolly Romero. I'm not saying physically. I'm talking about the referee just stopped in and pulled a Lawrence Cole. How often do you get to see the fighter that was stopped, if it was legit, come back and fight for an interim junior welterweight title? Yeah, they brought him back, y'all. I just thought I'll put that little tidbit out there. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the politics of the heavyweight division, what's going on with this system of boxing. You know what I'm saying? The system of boxing. Because that's what the sport is. It's a system. You have workers and employees, shakers and movers internal to the system that makes these decisions, right? They plan things. You know what I'm saying? And the planning process for boxing is what? Fights. So it's been rumored. I read it out here on Boxing News 24 is that Joshua versus Ngannou mega fight brewing in Saudi Arabia. Now, as you all know, Deontay Wilder was pretty much in a chit chat for potentially facing Joshua, okay? Ngannou had nothing to do with Deontay Wilder. Why? Because people spoke about they would like to see that fight, but no one really made it stick when it came to talking points in the media. So pretty much Ngannou was lined up with Tyson Fury. He went in there and earned a knockdown with Tyson Fury in the third round, and Tyson Fury would go on to win that fight. It was a sanctioned boxing match. 0-0, it was a sanctioned boxing match, and for 10 rounds, non-title. Francis Ngannou lost. So coming full circle to this particular fight with Eddie Hearns further proves to WCS that they never wanted the Deontay Wilder fight. And this is where I'm at with this before y'all start, huffing and puffing and throwing a little pouty, you know what I'm saying, banging your head off the wall. This is the way I think about this matchup. It proves that Eddie Hearns and Anthony Joshua never had intentions of fighting Deontay Wilder. They never had any intentions of wanting to fight with Deontay Wilder. For whatever reason it is, man, Deontay Wilder just rubbed them like freaking poison ivy, man. It was a rash from the beginning. It was inflamed, all that, itching like a mud. They never wanted to fight, y'all. Now, Deontay goes in there and lose versus Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker never was in the running for a rematch with Anthony Joshua. But it was talks possibly for Deontay Wilder to fight Joshua. That's what everybody wanted to see. Joshua up there BSing the fans once again like he wanted to face Wilder. You know what I'm saying? BSing the fans like he wanted to face Wilder. But yet, all we hear is him wanting to fight a 0-1 former MMA champion. He wants to go in there and fight an 0-1 MMA champion. Now, let me enlighten you on something. Yes, he was UFC heavyweight champion. I like Ngannou, man. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing not to like about Ngannou when it comes to him as a fighter now, his improvement, what he was able to accomplish in the UFC, and now that he's making big money, someone who thrives on, family and providing for his country and stuff, right? So, he goes to PFL, lead the UFC. They were saying that he ducked John Jones, but he was saying that the money, what was going on with the UFC, he didn't want no more. He didn't want a part of no more. He's out. So he's happy now with being paid the numbers that he's being paid, and he's trying to make a splash in a hurry. So the machine has got behind Ngannou. They liked the way he looked in there against Joshua. So it was enough for them to potentially mark this fight. I believe, and this is to all the Wilder naysayers, if Wilder would have won that fight versus Joseph Parker, I don't believe he still would have got the fight with Anthony Joshua. Just like you all said the man should have signed that 3-fight deal back in the day. It wasn't guaranteed he was going to get Joshua. You know what lengths Joshua would have went through, like he's doing now, not to fight Wilder? But let's stay on topic. Ngannou is now in the picture. Supposedly, in March of this year, a mega clash, as they call it on Boxing News 24, a mega clash between Anthony Joshua and former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou is reportedly in the works for March 16th in Saudi Arabia. Right? Ngannou 0-1, former 2-time heavyweight champion. Joshua 27-3, 24 knockouts. And they talk about how Ngannou gave Tyson Fury all he can handle. It says, if Ngannou performs the same fashion against Joshua, he'll knock him out, and there won't be any chances of judges scoring it. Joshua's chinny, and his stamina is still poor. Hold on for a second. It goes on to say, that is the talk. Joshua versus Ngannou. There's a risk. We've seen now what Ngannou can do, said Gary DeVias to Boxing Social about a fight in the works between Joshua and Ngannou. And then they put for March 9th in Saudi Arabia. You know, my criticism of these articles that's on Boxing News 24 is the fact that their editor must be always sleeping when the freaking article is submitted, or they're required to edit this themselves. So initially, they said the fight was going to be March 13th, right? That's what I told you all early. Per the article. You know what I'm saying? Per this article, it's supposed to be March 16th, rather. March 16th. Then you go further in the article, and it said March 9th in Saudi Arabia. I can't make this up. Moving forward, I don't think he'll do too much different against AJ. Can AJ budge him if he fights him? Yes. Can Ngannou hurt AJ? Yes. So there's jeopardy there. Personally, I'd rather see AJ fight Herkovic next, but the amount of money on the table for Joshua Ngannou is Saudi Arabia. Okay, so people are busy talking about how much money is in Saudi. Okay, we get it. They have a huge budget, very, very heavy, and it's very liquidy. You know, it flows very nicely. You know what I'm saying? It's very fluent. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about your cup running over, the cup runneth over there in Saudi Arabia, okay? So therefore, we have to look at what we've heard prior to this. It was talk about Deontay and Anthony Joshua. Now I'm thinking that Eddie Hearns was just using Deontay Wilder's name all along. Just like they said Anthony Joshua and Wilder were supposed to fight at the end of last year. It never happened. Then when he loses, that Joshua gets up there trying, we still can make the fight. He's full of crap. Now they want to jump in and fight Ngannou. Now answer me this, right? Answer me this. Joshua has been stopped, and he's lost twice against Alexander Usyk. Prior to that fight card that just happened in Riyadh, Joshua had 3 losses. Deontay Wilder had 2. Deontay Wilder 2 losses came to what many consider the best heavyweight in boxing, Tyson Fury right now, okay? So therefore, those 2 losses from Deontay Wilder was no different than Joshua having 2 losses. He had two losses to Alexander Usyk, man. You know what I'm saying? 2 losses in the same fashion as Deontay Wilder did in his rematch in his trilogy with Fury. My biggest question in all of this, him returning and fighting a guy who was just put in there to move around in Alo Valim, a guy who haven't did anything since fighting Tyson Fury. How does Joshua all of a sudden have this huge appraising and this huge spike in his FICO, his boxing FICO now? And he was coming off a struggling victory, y'all, over none other than Robert Helenius, August 2023. He went into the 7th round with Robert Helenius. Both his eyes was puffy from fighting Robert Helenius. He didn't look all that spectacular, but just because he got the win with a freaking predetermined knockout, now he wins a fight that he barely did anything. The headlines and everybody's up here, the mega fight. This is no mega fight. This is no mega fight, man. I still don't think Joshua and freaking Ngannou is better than Wilder, Anthony Joshua. I don't think so. They're trying to build this up because I credit Eddie Hearns. Eddie Hearns been over there in that sand, making money. Making deals. You know what I'm saying? Rubbing elbows. You know what I'm saying? Handshakes. He's been doing his magic. You know what I'm saying? Eddie has been doing his magic. That doesn't that doesn't negate the fact that he does lie a lot. And this heavyweight picture deals with, Eddie Hearns, not being totally honest with some of the matchups. All of a sudden, Deontay Wilder, Joshua. And then he start criticizing Wilder once he take the loss. But what about criticizing Joshua off the performance he had with Robert Helenius? Not to mention Jermaine Franklin. He didn't look spectacular against Jermaine Franklin. So you people actually believe that he's going to go in there and knock out Francis Ngannou? Francis Ngannou has lost twice in the UFC. You know what I'm saying? He's not going, and none of those losses are knockouts. He's not going into this Anthony Joshua fight to lose again. He's 0-1 already based off his loss to Tyson Fury. Anybody who knows anything about Francis Ngannou understands he has a good base. He's in the heavyweight. He's from the heavyweight division. His base is better than Anthony Joshua when it comes to boxing. His work on the inside, this is where his MMA skills are going to play a huge factor. Just like I, highlight Crawford all the time, his wrestling ability. And also Francis Ngannou has power. He has power. And everybody and anybody knows that Anthony Joshua is a bit chinny. And his cardio is very suspect. With that said, this is good on paper. You know what I'm saying? Just like I put on the thumbnail. I say Francis Ngannou destroys both the gold medal recipient, because he received the gold medal recipient, and Anthony Joshua that we see today. Ngannou destroys them both, because the guy who looked like this, who they built into an Adonis to come into the boxing world and change it forever and be one of the greatest, it haven't quite materialized the way people would want, because he isn't that good. Anthony Joshua isn't that good. This last fight he had with Vergil, it wasn't all spectacular, but people want to say, oh man, it was all this, that, and the other. Okay, it wasn't. But I'm hoping he get this fight with Ngannou. I do. Because it's going to further expose how undeveloped Anthony Joshua is. And the crazy part about his rudimentary type boxing skills is that people will always praise him higher than Wilder, because Wilder fundamentals are absent when it comes to, just sticking behind the jab, throwing 1-2, putting combinations together, right? But they won't sit up here and explain to you that even Anthony Joshua have better fundamentals, due to the eye test. He has a lot of flaws too. And if he's not in there with the right opponents, for whatever reason it may be, he's not going to shine the way you think he is. He's not. And it's just amazing that they was hyping this shit up that Ngannou Joshua is a mega fight. This is no mega fight. Ngannou and Joshua is nowhere close to being a mega fight, man. It's nowhere close. If Ngannou goes in there and loses via knockout to Joshua, he got the orders. Real talk. And a lot of me saying that, from where he's from and his pride and everything, I just don't see that happening. For no, they say money can buy anything. But I don't see that happening with Ngannou taking the orders and trying to turn this into a trilogy. Trying to turn it into a 2-for-1 chicken dinner. Have a thriller in the first fight and then come back for a second fight with more money. Believe me, they're trying to make as much money as off Joshua as they can, because he's at the end of his window. He's about to jump out of it. His career is almost over. But people always still gravitate to Joshua. You know what I'm saying? They turn their back on him when Ruiz upset him. They turned their back on him when he lost twice to Alexander Usyk. WCS told you he was a hype job. Way back in 2018. Real talk. I told you that Anthony Joshua was a hype job. Now they trying to methodically, slowly tiptoe him back into the picture. Jermaine Franklin, Robert Helenius. Come on, man. Otto Wallin went in there and retired on the stool. Get out of here. You paid that man the most he ever made in his life, and he pulled a Charles Martin. The only thing he did was sit on the stool. You know what I'm saying? He sat on the stool instead of just flopping in the freaking middle of the square. So when I look at this matchup, I look at it as if Ngannou is gonna further highlight Anthony Joshua being overhyped as a heavyweight fighter. I think he's gonna look very, very well in there against Joshua, because Joshua isn't a very, very good fighter. So you're gonna take a 0-1 boxer with a license, and you're gonna go in there and see him perform against an overhyped boxer. And I believe Ngannou is going to look very, very good due to him already having experience in that with Fury. Now, you know, and not only that, but unlike the boxing community, when boxers switch over to MMA, and we've had some big names that switch over to MMA from boxing. We had the Holly Holmes, we had the Heather Hardys, we had the Amanda Serranos. You know what I'm saying? We had James Tony try his luck in there one time. Who else was over there? I mean, we had some boxers switch over, but the one thing about Ngannou, he has the MMA community behind him. So the ones that's trying to make this fight happen, knowing that the numbers are gonna be good, because the MMA community really get behind their fighters, regardless of him leaving the UFC. They just don't abandon their fighters like boxing. Mixed martial arts, man, they stick behind. You know, if it's them, they still look at Ngannou as being a mixed martial artist, and that's what they're going for. They're going for the MMA guy against the boxer. So they're rooting for him to go in there and stop Joshua. They root for him to go in here and try to freaking, you know, mistakenly throw a flying knee. You know what I'm saying? Mistakenly go in there and throw a flying knee. You know, that's just crazy. They look for him to go in there and try to throw an elbow like Tyson Fury, a low calf kick, a level change up against the ropes, and push him out. You know, have flashbacks if he was in the cage for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be honest with you. I have Ngannou winning this fight, hands down. If he doesn't win the fight, I'm not even talking about a decision. I'm talking about they need something that's thrilling to get people to want to see this fight again over there. They need something thrilling. But the crazy part about it, I don't know how it is going to be beneficial to the shakers and movers over there at Riyadh, because they're working on a different budget. So really, they don't crunch the numbers like over here in the U.S. They don't care about none of that shit. So regardless of what they make the pay-per-view numbers, it don't matter. You know why? Because I haven't seen these cats over here that love talking about pay-per-view numbers. I haven't seen them talk about that. But they still talking about Devin Haney made $55K. They still haven't been able to dispute that. Usually they on top of it, tap dancing like it's cool. Oh man, so-and-so, he only did 150K. So-and-so did 380K. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about those numbers in there. But this fight right here is definitely going to be on pay-per-view. And I don't think it's going to be no $85 or $90. The positive aspect of it is that Ngannou has that engine behind him right now. And he's making people money. He's getting paid the most money that he's ever made. And he's going in there against a guy that's a very solid matchup for him to knock the F out. You know what I'm saying? Joshua is him. If Joshua if Joshua's online with Ngannou landing the same shot he did on Fury, I really don't see him getting up as quick as Fury did. And I also imagine that Ngannou is going to land a much cleaner shot on Joshua. Because it's just a gap of boxing IQ between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua that will never be closed. You feel me? It will never be closed. It's too late for that. It's too late. So, you know, take it however you want, man. You know, Anthony Joshua 27-3, 24 knockouts, and he does have a knockout loss per Andy Ruiz, and he went the distance in a loss. But it's puzzling, you know, as much as I think about it, it's very puzzling that people ride off Wilder, but he only has 3 losses like Joshua. 2 when he stepped in there in Riyadh for this fight card. You know what I'm saying? I mean, both of these guys have knockout losses. You know what I'm saying? Both of them, Joshua and Wilder. Who the fight fans really want to see? They want to see Anthony Joshua Wilder. That's just the way of the land, man. They want to see this. They're trying to fluff the pillow on this dang Joshua and Ngannou fight. They're trying as much as they can to fluff the pillow. That's all they're trying to do, man. They're trying to draw in as much oxygen as possible for people to believe that this is a mega fight. And it ain't. It's not a mega fight. But they have it in the right place now. Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, they're definitely going to promote this heavy. I got to give it up to them. They got the bankroll over there. Look, I can't even say bankroll. They have the liquidation over there. They have the means over there. They can make this shit happen. They have the means to make it happen, and they're doing it. So, you know, the mentality that we've been used to over here in the U.S. with people trying to crunch the numbers and trying to gauge a fighter's popularity based off the pay-per-view numbers, that shit right there, it isn't relevant to Riyadh. That same freaking normal freaking narrative pushing, they can't do that over there about Riyadh. All they can do is watch the fights and talk about the fights. These cats don't have no numbers to go off of and fluff it up real nice and try to say, okay, so-and-so's doing this and that's why they this, you know, and that's why they should get this. No. A lot of fighters is going over to fight in Saudi Arabia now because the money's good. I don't think it's going to boost their career any more than what it is. Why? Because unless they fight somebody important, cool. You know what I'm saying? If they fight somebody important. But if they're matched up with just anybody over there, all it is going to be another win on their record. And the pay is going to look real nice. So, you know, when you calibrate it, a lot of fighters are going to try to, you know, get get their name on the manifesto to somehow, some way go over there to Riyadh and get that fight. But as far as it, you know, really elevating their career, I don't think it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna happen. But I do like those fight cards over there. I do like how smooth it is, the amount of production that is put into the fight card. I like it, bro. I like how they did, you know, the last card and made it like a scary promo and stuff like that. That shit was on point. But when you're talking about the topic at hand with Joshua fighting Ngannou, nothing about this fight says it's a mega fight. Nothing. Even though Joshua in boxing has done more than Ngannou in MMA, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about a guy who's 0-1 in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Conor McGregor didn't even think about coming back this quick. When he went in there and got stopped, I said, how much money would have paid to see a rematch if Conor would have went the distance? But Floyd was like, nah, this is a one-off right here. I'm getting you up out of here, and then that's it. What if Floyd would have allowed Conor McGregor to go the distance and hit it up for a rematch? They could have made several more millions. You know what I'm saying? They could have made incredible amount of money, but it wasn't in the plans, man. But Ngannou coming over there doing the same thing Conor did, you know what I'm saying? And losing too, but going the distance. And to return, if this is indeed true in March, to fight Anthony Joshua, wow. All I can say about that is wow. Wow. He's really using his time wisely. I'm not going to lie to you. These guys are both in their 30s. And Ngannou is trying to sponge up as much monetary revenue as he possibly can while he's hot. He goes over here again and he gets beat. It's over. No one's going to be wanting to see him box again. That would have been his second straight loss. This fight right here, he has the right opponent to go in there and hand Anthony Joshua his fourth loss. You know what I'm saying? He has the opportunity to do that. He has the opportunity to do that. And a huge part of, you know what I'm saying, just speculating all the time. I just feel Ngannou is going to come out victorious so they can try to do a 2-for-1. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I said 2-for-1, because if it's entertaining to the people, it has to be something that goes the distance. I can't see Ngannou going the distance with Joshua just because. Reason being, because the long fights that he had in the UFC was extremely disinteresting. So I don't see him going the distance with Anthony Joshua, who has cardio issues and would just stand there and throw the same robotic combinations all the time. And then Ngannou not really having a lot of experience in the boxing ring to know how to carry over those rounds. And I don't know. I don't see it. It would be good for them to do two fights because they both get paid. And it further keeps Joshua away from Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? We'll just have to see how that shit plays out, real talk. Because, a mega fight, I ain't buying it. But it's a lot of people that's going to look at it like, hey, I'll watch it. It's in Riyadh again. I'll watch another fight in Saudi Arabia. I'll do it. But as far as the relevance of it, I don't see it. I don't see how it's relevant. I just see it as being like entertainment. They're going to sanction the fight again. It's going to be another sanctioned fight on Ngannou's record. And this is why I'm saying he has to win. He has to win this fight because this is going to be another mixed martial artist that's hyping it up, right? Years removed from the Conor McGregor fight. But it's going to be another mixed martial artist, a big name, coming over to boxing and losing their first fight. And then Ngannou is committed. He's still signed with PFL. He's committed to doing another freaking boxing match. But if he comes over here and goes 0-2, it's done. It's over. People are going to look at, okay, they're going to wait several more years and they're going to try to bring over another mixed martial artist. And then people are going to start doing their research. Okay, you had Conor. You had Ngannou. What's next? Because they couldn't get it done. When are they going to come over here and win against a big name? Conor came over here and fought TBE, Floyd Mayweather. And then Ngannou comes over here and fights the current reigning defending WBC heavyweight champion. Both of them took a loss. Something has to change. Something has to change. And is it beneficial for Joshua to beat Ngannou at this stage in his career? It ain't beneficial. He's already 0-1. It ain't beneficial. Is it beneficial for Ngannou to beat Joshua? Yes. Because you have the whole entire MMA community behind Ngannou pushing him. So for him to go in there and perform very, very well against two top tier champions, so to speak, even though Joshua is a former champions, I think more people will continue to gravitate to Ngannou than Joshua. You know what I'm saying? He has that imposing type of freaking look to him. He is a former UFC heavyweight champion. He can throw those punch combinations pretty decent. And he possesses power. You know, everybody looks for power in the heavyweight division. So at the end of the day, He hasn't been knocked out. And I don't foresee Joshua being the one to knock him out either. I'm just putting it out. I don't see that shit at all. I don't see Joshua being the one to freaking knock him out. I don't see Joshua freaking winning. I don't see why he, if he was to get a victory, what benefit will it be to his career? Who's next for Joshua? Who's next? You trying to tell me it's going to be the winner of Fury Usyk? And they're going to hype that up as a mega fight for Joshua to return off a win over Ngannou? Makes no sense at all. No sense at all, y'all. Let me get to the hottest check. Shout out to Mike on deck. I see you, bro. Al Money on deck, man. Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens on deck. However you pronounce your name. Andrew on deck. Shout out to my guy, the News by Shaw News Sauce Experience on deck in the building. What's good with it? Shaw News, salute to you, brother. But I look at Ngannou destroying Joshua. Both the little guy that sits inside of that frame of muscles, and the one that you currently see and witness today. All I'm saying is he really haven't made any drastic improvement as a heavyweight from the time he was exposed, coming over to the U.S., thinking it was going to be easy. And the crazy part about it is that, okay, yeah, everything happens for a reason, as they say. Cliche, right? But Jarrell Miller, he pops for having 100 plus chemicals. But I respected Jarrell Miller when I ran into him and asked him. He made no excuses. And I respect him in his loss to Daniel Dubois. Because, like he said, he ain't show no bitch. He ain't give up. He kept fighting, seriously. But at the end of the day, Jarrell Miller was removed. And Andy Ruiz was brought in. And I don't know if the same person that went out and thought they was, pretty much up there duck calling. You know what I'm saying? They was out there duck calling, and it was duck, duck, goose. And Andy Ruiz came in there. It was the wrong one, goddammit. And he went in there and put on a show that they wasn't thinking that was going to happen, and made Anthony Joshua quit. And then the fact he lost his titles to a cruiserweight, you know what I'm saying? A cruiserweight. A heavyweight that moved up and fought Chase Witherspoon and Derek Chisora now. Beat Joshua and beat him again. Come on, man. And all he's been on is like having these weird post-fight episodes. Throwing belts over the top rope. Talking about he do what the F he want to do. Cussing people out. You know what I'm saying? Getting beat up by Robert Helenius. Going in there fighting a freaking mannequin and Otto Wallin. He doing all this crazy shit, but people think that he's going to go in there and do damage to Ngannou? Oh, man. That's going to be wild, dog. I wonder what the betting odds going to be for this fight. I'm putting everything on Ngannou, bro. I'm putting everything on Ngannou. I bet the odds are going to suck. Real talk. And this is a fight where they should come in with decent odds. I'm talking about, listen, bring Joshua in as the favorite, right? As the favorite, and put Francis Ngannou at about a +3, a +4. Make it interesting. I'm telling you, put your money on Ngannou. Joshua beating Ngannou, nah. It's nothing in it. Unless they trying to say, oh man, let's try to build up Joshua to fight the winner of Fury Usyk. It'll be a mega fight. It's not gonna be a mega fight, dog. Why? Because no one's gonna believe Joshua's coming here, knocking out Ngannou early in the fight to try to build up him getting back in title contention to fight for the undisputed, which he's never been able to do. So you gotta gamble. You know what I'm saying? You gotta gamble. You gotta take risk. You gotta say, who is the machine gonna be behind mostly? Do they believe if Usyk win, that people want to see Joshua go back in there and fight Usyk, who beat him twice? Or if Fury wins, do the boxing fanatic truly believes, I'm talking about the sober, drug-free boxing fanatic, totally believes that Joshua can go in there and beat Fury? Come on, bro. I know it's 2024. Come on, bro. Don't nobody believe that. Don't nobody believe that. Nobody sees Joshua beating Fury. I don't care if he was knocked down by Ngannou in their fight or not. He went in there with a lighter fighter and couldn't win. You think he's going to go in there with Fury? You think he going to go in there with Fury? No. So you got to play devil's advocate a bit. You gotta try to, you know what I'm saying, ponder the thought, brainstorm a little bit, troubleshoot. You know what I'm saying? Go into your tactical wheelhouse, you know, and try to figure out how and what the approach is gonna be in this fight if it happens in March. Are they leaning more heavier on Ngannou? You know what I'm saying? Over there in boxing to possibly have Ngannou. If Tyson Fury wins, have Ngannou, who's 1-1, go over there and fight Tyson Fury for the undisputed in just 3 professional fights? Because he's already dropped Fury. If Fury wins and Ngannou wins, you trying to tell me people are not going to pay to see Ngannou go in there and fight Tyson Fury? Yes, they're going to see a 1-1 boxer go in there and fight Tyson Fury again. And you know what? This time, them pay-per-view numbers are going to be a little bit higher. I'm talking about the pay-per-view price tag. And this is going to be a fight people tune into. Because now they're going to look at it like, okay, he did well against Fury, and he defeated Joshua. I want to see when he get a second time at Tyson Fury. You got to look at it that way. It's many avenues of approach to how they plan on making money. Do they want to get behind Joshua, or do they want to get behind Ngannou? If you're looking at the boxing fans' perspective on them guessing on this gamble, because it is a gamble, who would they want to put more energy behind based off what they've seen in the ring? Right now, for me, it's Ngannou. Because Joshua's proven that he can falter under pressure. He ain't exciting. Joshua ain't exciting. People was up here, you know, raving about him back and looking good and all that. He ain't have to do shit. He had General Bob in front of him. That little half torso stature that be in every gym, they just beat the hell out of. That's who we had. Otto General Bob Arlene. That's who they had in that mother. And Ngannou went in there and did his best to fight Fury. He goes in there and look awesome against freaking Anthony Joshua, and even knocks him down. You talking about a mega fight? That's if Tyson Fury wins. That's a mega fight, bro, for a 1-1 mixed martial artist to come in here and fight for the boxing undisputed in the heavyweight division. Crazy, insane. We don't want to see Joshua over here no more. And he's been over here, man. He's overhyped. He's been hyped. Overrated, overhyped, same underscore. They want to see something different. They want to see what draws people in to see these big time fights. And saying that Anthony Joshua and Ngannou's a mega fight, that ain't drawing nobody in. All they saying is, well, can Joshua survive? You know what I'm saying? Can Joshua survive? He didn't knock out Otto Wallin like he did Robert Helenius. Let's not be storytellers. Let's not exacerbate what we've seen. The man retired on a stool from getting punched. You know what I'm saying? He quit. That's all. Q-U-it. Quit. He quit, man. Francis Ngannou is not going to quit. And I would love for Anthony to try to get in some exchanges with Ngannou so he can land that, so he can land that shot on that freaking styrofoam, saran wrap, wet confetti, you know what I'm saying, hot marshmallow, soft ass chin that he got. I really want to see that, man. Real talk. Then Wilder and AJ signed already to fight. Had to jump off for a bit. How did Ngannou come into the picture? Just curious. Well, you know, when you hear that fighters are in talks, and you know Deontay Wilder and Joshua did this, hey, you have to go back to the rematch heading into the third fight. They was up here telling the people that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua was gonna fight for the undisputed when Deontay Wilder was in arbitration, fighting for his right to attend a third fight with Fury. You know what I'm saying? But they was out here lying to the people, talking about Eddie Hearn. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to make that fight Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. What? But it's clear that Wilder was in arbitration. Ain't nothing happening. Even Bob Arum came over here and saying, oh, that's expired. That's expired. No, it don't expire like that. You know what I'm saying? Due to natural disasters and stuff that was going on, there's no way you could say, okay, it expired. You know what I'm saying? He fought at the beginning of a pandemic, lost his title, and he has no recourse, legal recourse per the contract. They just go ahead and fight for undisputed. You see it didn't happen. So that's why I thought, you know, when it comes to Deontay Wilder and Joshua really being signed, do we really know that they signed? Do we really know? I don't know, man. It might have just been, yo, they're in talks. Then you grab a cheesesteak. AJ is too stiff and robotic. Yes, sir. That was pretty funny when AJ threw the belts out the ring. Yeah, you know, he's over there doing all that weird, crazy, eccentric type shit, and no one's holding him accountable. He's over there throwing tantrums like a big-ass baby, but no one holding him accountable because they enamored with his freaking aesthetics. These dudes don't want to say nothing bad about AJ because they really wish he was their big brother. You know what I'm saying? I wish AJ was my big brother. I just wish it. Man, if I can have a big brawn, you know, brother like that to take up for me everywhere. Oh, my God. No telling how many women out. Man, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. AJ got heavy hands. He might knock Ngannou out, but he can wear him out. He's in way better fighting shape than Fury. I'm calling the TKO right now. You're calling the TKO for who exactly? You calling the TKO for Ngannou? And you're saying that Joshua's in better shape? And take this for instance, Andrew. Take this for instance. I'm just running this past you, right? In the Robert Helenius fight, let me even go back. Jermaine Franklin, Robert Helenius, and Otto Wallin. What does all three of those opposition have in common with AJ? A lack of activity when it comes to pressure. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I credit Robert Helenius for just boxing and moving around on AJ and swelling up both of his eyes. But he wasn't really going out there crazy and pressuring Anthony Joshua. So how do you assess that Anthony Joshua's cardio has improved? That's all I'm asking, brother. Like, how do you assess if he hasn't been in there with somebody who's going to pressure him? You know what I'm saying? Imagine Daniel Dubois, for instance, putting that, you know, that consistency on AJ, staying consistent. Imagine if Jarrell Miller consistently had the gas tank, which he did pretty good. He started gassing, putting that consistent pressure on Anthony Joshua. Could he be able to handle it? Now, if we took the Deontay Wilder from the Joseph Parker fight, could Anthony Joshua handle the pressure that Joseph Parker was putting on Wilder? I mean, please answer me that, man. That could Anthony Joshua handle the Joseph Parker right now that he was putting on Deontay Wilder? I mean, because these fights, Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. These fights is over in Riyadh. I don't know what the testing is over there, but goddamn it, Joseph Parker looked like he wasn't gassed or nothing. So that's another thing you're looking at. What the testing is over there, I don't know. But Joshua's cardio to me is still a bit suspect as far as being legit, in my opinion. I still believe, he runs off. He doesn't even run off mid-grade. He's on regular right now. I got to take AJ by decision, way more clear than Fury. AJ by decision. Oh, Ngannou. I mean, it's possible he can go to a decision with Ngannou. You know what I'm saying? But I got Ngannou all day. You know what I'm saying? All day. He showed me absolutely nothing from the Franklin fight, the Helenius fight, and the Valine fight. Absolutely nothing. Showed me no improvement. Nothing. Nothing. Period. The only thing he proved that he can duck Deontay Wilder again. We possibly fight Deontay Wilder in December. We know that fight wasn't going to happen because Eddie Hearns and Joshua don't want the fight to happen. Ngannou is a sideshow in boxing. AJ is going to do what Fury should have done and hand Ngannou back to the MMA retirement. Well, first of all, he didn't retire from MMA. You know what I'm saying? He didn't retire from MMA. He left the UFC and signed with PFL. He didn't retire. He still have, some big fights left to him, but why not do the crossover? Conor McGregor came over here and made millions with Floyd. Ngannou is attempting to try to do the same thing now. So he went in there and looked decent with Fury, but he's going to look even better with Anthony Joshua. Because the reason why I'm saying that, I don't see him being better than Fury. I don't see Anthony Joshua being better than Fury. I think Ngannou is going to look that much better against Joshua at the end of the day when they touch gloves. But definitely, I got to ask you this once again, Andrew, in 24. Come on now. Stay with me, Andrew. Who has Joshua retired? He couldn't even retire the guy to the right of him on this thumbnail. Who has Anthony Joshua retired? He can't even retire the little guy over there, bro. That guy's still walking with him right here. He can't even get rid of him. Say, stay away from me. Damn, dude, I still don't have no cardio because of you. I'm getting tired. You know what I'm saying? They gave you the gold medal, dog. They gifted you the gold medal. You didn't have to really work for it. And Ngannou might land something big. AJ head movement is non-existent. And man, that's all I'm trying to say. They don't have that Jahai Tucker rhythm and motion. They don't have that, man. They don't have that dance hall affiliate. They don't have that. Now, I would say this, to be neutral and give. I'll say I give AJ 2 points on this FICO. When he was with Robert Garcia, the Shaw News, his head movement was looking pretty decent. I said, God damn, look at Joshua. Lateral movement, slipping, getting in rhythm. But God damn it, somebody didn't check and see if the brakes need to be changed. Because them motherfuckers started to squeak. He started to slow down. You know what I'm saying? And, nobody checked to see how much fuel was in the tank. They came in there with a quarter tank. And by the 7th round, that shit was running on E. Look, his cardio started coughing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, bro. Somebody didn't take and do some maintenance on it. Robert Garcia taught him in the gym. He did. I think he looked the best out of these new trainers. Robert Garcia looked better than Diddy James, in my opinion. And he looked better than Ben Davison. Real talk. I like the Joshua. They walked in there and fought that fight from Robert Garcia. I like that Joshua. But with all that movement at heavyweight, Joshua got to be disciplined enough to push through when he start to gasp and get tired. You know what I'm saying? He got to be able to push through, man. He got to really know how to go to different levels. He got to push past the threshold of failure, bro. That's all I'm saying, man. They were starting to fight each other, but it was contingent upon both guys winning on 23rd. Hey, Deontay Wilder still has some fight left. You know what I'm saying? Ngannou punches too slow. Don't see him landing the big one on AJ. Well, you know, that's your opinion. You do have the right to that, but that slowness absolutely was able to put Tyson Fury at the stoplight at the intersection. You know what I'm saying? He definitely landed and dropped a legitimate two-time. I'm talking about a guy who has a Klitschko on his record. A Klitschko now, even though he cheated, a Klitschko. And he has a Wilder on his record 3 times. And all them other guys he fought when he came back over here. You know what I'm saying? He has a Dillian White on his record. You know? So for Ngannou to fight a guy like Fury who has those names on his record and drop him as an 0-0 boxer, I think that's commendable. Okay, for sure, Andrew. You know what I'm saying? You said, no, I'm saying AJ getting the TKO. Well, I understand what you're saying. I mean, anything is possible, but I'm sticking with Ngannou getting the KO. Leave the T out. I see him with Joshua getting the KO. He's used to 5-minute rounds. Joshua's up there in 3-minute rounds. Ngannou's used to going 5-minute rounds in the cage in a much larger battle space. You feel me? A much larger battle space. Now you know WCS cover both sides. I'm just giving you a little schematics. He's used to going 5 minutes per round in a much larger battle space. In those small rings, he know how to navigate in a smaller ring, bro. If all else fail, he has the power. He has the ammunition. You know, he's going to see Anthony's jawline, Joshua's jawline dripping anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know how I look when you make s'mores, fresh s'mores from the freaking campfire outside, and you put it in between 2 graham crackers, and when you bite into it, it just oozes out the side. That's pretty much what Ngannou is going to be looking at when he gets in the ring. That's just going to be oozing out of Joshua's chin. That's real talk. How can you not smack the shit out of somebody who have marshmallow oozing out of their chin? Confetti paper. You know what I'm saying? Melted styrofoam. I mean, come on, bro. It's going to be an easy target. And then the referee's going to have to stop the fight to wipe off Ngannou's gloves. I'm confident that AJ's cardio and stamina is above Ngannou's. Cool. Be comfortable. There's a lot of heavies I think can beat Ngannou right now. Fury dropped the ball. That doesn't mean Ngannou is a world-class boxer. Well, the good thing about what you said is that you never heard WCS say anything about a world-class. But you did hear me say, I believe Ngannou will absolutely beat Joshua. Nobody over here that's on this mic that goes by WCS said that he's a world-class. And then not only that, we're talking about strictly one fight that we've been able to witness. We're talking about Ngannou Fury. We're not talking about any other freaking boxer. What are we talking about? An 0-1? We're talking about an 0-1 boxer who had the opportunity to cross over as a champion, previous champion from the UFC, to face the current reign defending WBC heavyweight champion in a non-title fight. We're not talking about every other heavyweight. We're talking about Fury. That's what we're talking about, Andrew. We're talking about Fury. We're not talking about the entire list of heavyweights that can potentially, you think, that'll beat Ngannou. We're talking about Fury. We're talking about Joshua. Last time I checked, Joshua doesn't have any belts. Joshua doesn't have any belts. AJ do run out of gas. Yeah, he does. You know what I'm saying? He run out of gas like it's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? His mechanic and everybody else that was supposed to give him that goddamn 10-point inspection before he stepped his ass in there on the Robert Garcia, they didn't do this shit. And that's what pissed me off about that. Because I like all the movement, but the whole time, And I was on the phone with Shaw News. You know what I'm saying? At that time, he was like telling me, okay, you know, Joshua looking good. Joshua looking good. And then all of a sudden, it's almost like the sky got dark. Motherfucking thunder and lightning happened. I said, hey, Shaw, what's going on? He said, Joshua getting tired. He's fatigued. Again? And then right when I said again, motherfuckers started raining. It started goddamn, look, I saw felines. You know what I'm saying? I saw bull mastiffs. Cane coursers coming from the sky. It was raining cats and dogs out that motherfucker, man. Oh, he's getting tired. Oh, man, he's letting Usyk take this round. That's all I heard. You know what I'm saying? That's all I heard, man. I say, no, man. And I was actually saying, damn, go AJ. It's good. AJ putting on a good fight. But goddamn it, the same shit happened. Once again, he exhausted himself, fatigued. What they say, fatigue make a coward out of many, something like that. And in Gunner's defense, I did give him zero chance to beat Fury, and we saw how that played out. Well, you gotta look at it like this in the value sense, you know. You gotta upgrade that zero, because now, based off the performance of him losing and dropping Fury, it's sliding him into a position to face Anthony Joshua March. So if you gave him zero chance to beat Fury, how did it look? Well, how does it look at him getting a fight in March? If he looked, you know, subpar, like you say he did, why is he getting another fight with a heavyweight? Not just any heavyweight, but a former two-time heavyweight champion. A former two-time. So he must be doing something right. In his losing effort, he must be doing something right, bro. That's all I'm saying. He must be doing something absolutely right. And it's about time to remove that thumbnail. I gave him as much shine as he possibly need. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk about Joshua much, but I think y'all get the point. At the end of the day, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. When it comes down to this fight, kudos to them to make that money. I'm more so happy for Ngannou because I know that he's helping people out in his home country. You know, he's doing good things. He wasn't spoon fed in the UFC like Anthony Joshua was in boxing. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't chaperoned and micromanaged. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't laid out a red carpet with petals, rose petals, to get these fights from Charles Martin to a retired Vladimir Klitschko to a surviving Joseph Parker. Come on, man. That's all that I'm just saying. I don't want to piss nobody off. I want to bring in 2024. You know what I'm saying? Leaving the headstones where they lie. I'm trying to turn over a new rock. You know what I'm saying? But if I pick that rock up and there's something under there that needs to be dealt with, hey, 24 is fresh, man. We in the third day of the year. Clap it up, clap it up. I don't have no soundboard. I got to use manual labor. You know what I'm saying? But we in 2024, y'all. Vergil Ortiz is back on deck this weekend. And then we have next week, we have Artur Beterbiev against Callum Smith. Man, come on, bro. Come on, man. That shit's bumping. We about to get back to it. Shout, you know, and free, you know, Calvin Ford. I don't know exactly everything that happened. But, hey, man, I don't know what. Hopefully everything work out for him. And then those of you that felt some type of way about me saying, you know, Devin Haney was fighting Jarrell Miller. Listen, I don't have to explain anything to, you know, what's understood don't need to be explained. There's plenty of channels out here that draw you in with false information every day. But every time WCS ad-lib or put something up like that, y'all want to act like school's in session. Y'all want me to go to the principal's office. Can you put him in in-house detention? We can't do shit to him. First of all, he ain't in school, first of all. You know how old he is? So we had an old nigga like that in school. Then we didn't do our due diligence and check his manuscript, his transcript rather. He's not, and you can't put him in in-house detention. But these cats want to, you know, feel some type of way. Like it's not content creators out there that absolutely lie to you. They'll go for one fight and absolutely switch up once the damn results are in, and y'all just sit up there and look goofy and say, "Oh, it's okay. It's just we're used to them doing that." Well, hey, shut the F up when it come to me then. If I say Devin Haney was rumored, then take it as Devin Haney was rumored to fight Jarrell Miller. Don't be leaving me messages and shit, trying to act like y'all live off a code of morals and principles on this YTC. Y'all don't live off no morals and principles. Dudes lie just to get the next view and the next subscriber, bro. That's all that is. Let me ad-lib and do me. That's all I'm saying. Let me do me. Watch me do me. That's all I'm saying. Doing me doesn't mean I'm going to be on this freaking YTC every day. But I want to give a big shout out to the ones who's in the new year, the ones that still support the channel. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all. The ones that you know feel some type of way about WCS. I can't make everybody happy. Neither will I attempt to. I'm not gonna try to make you happy. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But whoever choose to support the channel, that's my Cash App. Until then, y'all hold it down. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game, A-Side Official. I appreciate y'all, man. Salute till next time. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports. Subscribe.